అది మీరు మ్యూట్ లో పెడితేనే కంటిన్యూ. మీ సౌండ్ ఎక్కువ అయిపోతుంది నాకు. ప్లీజ్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యు కీప్ ఇన్ ద మోడ్.
సార్ డిస్టర్బెన్స్ గా వస్తుంది సార్, వాయిస్ వస్తలేదు సార్ ఇంకా.
మిగతా వాళ్ళ వాయిస్ వస్తుందా బాబు? హలో, వాట్ అబౌట్ రిమైనింగ్?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Hear you, sir.
Okay. But somebody is telling that they are not getting voice. It seems.
Your voice is breaking in between. There might be some technical problem.
Voice is not clear.
Sir,
Voice
your
is
voice
breaking, sir. There might be some technical error in between.
is probably internet issues, sir.
Net problem.
There is a background disturbance, sir.
Yeah, sir, can you mute everyone?
Yeah, that is the problem. Everybody is there. On...
Continue.
Hello? No.
Sir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shall I
Uma
continue?
Bindu and Sharanya are not on mute.
Yeah, can I continue, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
If my voice is clear, then I will continue, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Clear,
I
sir.
think మీరు PPT కూడా కనిపిస్తుంది అనుకుంటా. Am I correct?
Okay, sir.
Okay, then continue it. So, okay. Once again, good morning to everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. Today's session,
sir.
yeah, very good morning, ma. In this today's session, we are going to talk about what is the relation between state, society, and public administration. So, in brief, we will go with what is the state first meaning, and what is the society, what is the relation between state, society, and public administration. Welcome to the point now. First one, we will go with the conceptual clarification of the state and relation between state and society and public administration, and the different perspectives of state, society, and public administration. So first, we will go with what is the relation between state, society, and public administration. When we are talking about public administration, directly before talking public administration, state, and society closely related, because when you're talking about society is a wider. Then in the society, state is one of the part. In the state, government is a organization. Means society is a wider one, and the state is a part of the society, and government is a part of the state. Means in the government, public administration, one of the organization. Means public administration is an instrument or agency to look after the people or try to do the welfare functions and all the activities of the state. So that is the public administration. Then society is established for the social order and for the peaceful coexistence. Then this society will try to influence the state and also government. When we are talking about the influence of the state activities on the society, the failure of USSR, United States of America, has changed the many policies in USA also. So after failure of USSR, United States of Socialist Russia, the welfare concept is started in the public administration. When the welfare concept of public administration existed in the society or emerged in the society, the role of public administration has increased. Means the public administration have to perform many functions and many roles in this regard, because all the states in the emerging state, democratic states, when it is emerged as a democratic states, the democratic state has to perform many functions. like poverty elevation programs, providing education, and other welfare schemes which are given by the government. So, in the welfare scheme or welfare democratic administration, the public administration role has increased. Means we can say that one in Indian society, in the government of India, at present time, the public administration role has increased because of due to the changes in the society and the state and governments. I will give the one example. There is if the government is changed, then their policies also can be changed. According to the changes of the policy, the public administrators need to act or perform. So that is a change orientation we can call. So the society and public administration have done tremendous changes due to the globalization, due to the World Bank also. What is the World Bank motto? World Bank will focus on minimize the role of the state. Means state only facilitator. Just it is act as a facilitator, and it is like acting as a supervisor, not provider. And here I mean to say that one, the state role is minimized only for the law and order maintenance. So it's not need to do other functions. It means so we can go with the concepts of these things now. Then first you can see here in the image you can find out easily the meaning and conceptual of the state, society, and public administration. You can see is here. Society, the first one is society is a wider organization in that circle. And the next one is a state, yellow. And next one is a government. Means here we can say that one. Society is a social organization. The group of people living in the society. And the group of people may form the nation. Nation means nation, nationality. When we call a nation, India is a nation, Japan, America, these all the countries are nations. These are the independent nations we can call. So they have the independence. Independent means in their administrative rules, they can perform their own. They are not going to rely or depends on the other states or other rulers. So it means the society is the first one wider organization. Then society, state is one of the part in the society, and government is a part of the state. So public administration is a part of the public government. So these are the things which are common. Then go with the relationship between state and society, public administration. Then as I told you that society is a group of people. This society always practice some norms and rules. These norms from the ancient time we are practicing. So we can't say that from the constitution point of view. From the ancient time, for example, Manu, we are following that Manu principles. Niti Sutras, we have followed it. Means that society, from the beginning, it has some norms, some rules. These norms and rules for the social order. So the social order from the ancient time, we have it in the society. And state. State is a political institution. This political institution will try to perform law and order functions. Means it is a formal type of rules and regulations. Formal means which is based on the constitution or doctrine or the parliament laws, we can say that. That is called formal. Formal means officially enforced or implementing laws can be known as formal laws. So formal laws, rules and regulations are enforced by the state. Next, this state have the four elements. For example, we are calling India is a state. India is a political institution. This Indian government have the own laws, own rules, own regulations. So that India or this state, this society is based on four elements. When you're talking about India, my dear students, we have the four elements. First element is territory. Territory is nothing but place. Territory is nothing but that country's borders, the water, airspace, and seas, everything will come under this territory. Territory is nothing but geographical area of that particular country or the state can be called as a territory. Second one is population. State means we need the territory and we need the population and we need the government. That government should have the sovereignty. Means every state in the world have the four elements, these four elements. First one, territory. Second one, population. Population means people. Without people, we can't say that is a state. For example, India is a state. We have the second highest population in the world. China is also state. If even Vatican City is also state, because there are saints, they are living more than 1,000 members. So without population, we can't call it's a state. So we can recollect the definition of this, our Telugu poet, Gurujara Apparao. Nation means population. So, Deshamante Matti Kadi, Deshamante Manushulo in Telugu we can call. State means not only territory, but people also. So, without people, there is no state. So, this territory will give the, population will live in the territory. That population is governed by the government. Governed by the government means regulated by the government. So, what is government? Government is an agency of the state. So it is the agency of the state. So this government enforces the different laws for the sake of the state, for the sake of the people. So that government needs the sovereignty. Sovereignty is nothing but independent power. Independent power means sovereignty is nothing but the state independently rule itself. That is called sovereign state. India is a sovereign state. For example, in the world level recently, we can see that China and Taiwan issue. They are claiming that, China people claiming that Taiwan is not sovereign state. That is not independent state. That is a part of China. They are claiming that. They are arguing that. So sovereign means which state independently itself have the power to rule. That is a sovereign state. Next. So in the state, the third element is the government. Then what is the government? Government is an action arm of the state. Means whatever the state activities we have, it is enforced by the government. Means government will try to enforce the will of the state. What the state wants to provide, that can be realized by the government. I am clear to all of you, I think. Means government being an agency, it will try to provide or enforce the laws which are enforced by the or made by the state. So this government is consist of three organizations. First one is legislative body, second one is executive, another one is judiciary. So in the public administration point of view, government is an action arm of state. It will look after the legislation and execution and also adjudication of disputes. Means the government will frame the legislation. Legislation is nothing but lawmaking process. And it is also see the execution. Execution means implementing those laws which are prepared by the legislative body. Then adjudication of disputes. Adjudication of disputes means that laws and the implementation way. If any differences will be there, it can be clear. That is called adjudication of disputes. So next one, public administration and democracy. Then public administration or bureaucracy, my dear student. Public administration and bureaucracy is a set of officials. It's a group of officials. These officials may perform their functions for the welfare and development of the state. So we can say that one, public administration play a major role in the society, in the state for the enforcement of different activities. So it is associated with the legislative, executive, judiciary. Okay. Then when you're talking about public administration is a subsystem in the state. Remember that. Public administration is a subsystem in the state. So this subsystem may assist the state and assist to the government to perform their functions in a proper manner. So that is a public administration or the bureaucracy. Then Dwight Waldo, he defines that when you're talking about relation between state, society, and public administration, Dwight Waldo, administrative thinker, he defines that public administration is a government's central instrument. It is an instrument. So we have the instrument. So when you are playing that drums and something, that is an instrument. Drum is an instrument. And government, public administration, they are telling that. Waldo says that. Dwight Waldo saying that. Government, in the government, public administration is an instrument to deal with the general social problems. Means this instrument resolve the social problems. What is that instrument? Public administration is an instrument to resolve the social problems. So what is the role of public administration in India? Then public administration in India, it will perform the democratic functions and welfare functions. It will try to provide different facilities. So according to the changes in the administration, whether central or state or local government, it will try to perform. So the public administration play a major role in the poverty elevation and providing literacy and providing health facilities, and it will bring the changes in the economic system, in the market system. So this public administration is an instrument to bring the changes in the society, and it will try to solve the different problems in the society. That is the next we can see that one. The perspectives. Being a public administration student, when we're reading the society, state, and public administration, what is a perspective? What is the approach to study these three concepts? There are 6 perspectives we have. Perspective is nothing but approach, the way of understanding, the way of studying that field or that area, that subject is called perspective. So there are 6 perspectives we have. One is liberal perspective. Second one is neoliberal perspective, actually. That is neoliberal perspective. Next one, Marxian perspective. That is a Marxism, based on Marxism perspective. And Gandhian perspective means Gandhi ideas. Gandhi ideology can be practiced in the public administration, in the state, or in the society. Next one, Weberian perspective. Weberian is he said the concept of bureaucracy is also administrative thinker. Last one, that is the 6th one, ecological perspective. Ecological perspective means ecology means surrounding areas, surrounding places can be called ecology. So ecology is nothing but environment. So my dear student, the policies depends on the ecology. Due to the socio-economical, geographical conditions, we can make the laws. That is called ecological approach. So we'll go to the detailed these 6 perspectives. The first perspective, remember that liberal perspective, neoliberal perspective, Marxian perspective, Gandhian perspective, Weberian perspective, and ecological perspective. Then liberal perspective. This liberal perspective is advocated by the liberal thinkers, liberalists, Jeremy Bentham, J.S. Mill, Hobbes, John Locke. These people are thinkers. They propose the liberal perspective, means liberal point of view. What is the liberal point of view? Liberal point of view is nothing but liberalism. Idea of liberalism means freedom of expression, liberty, modernity, and progress. That is called liberal perspective. So this liberal perspective, in the part of liberal perspective, to study the state, society, and public administration, Hobbes, he defines that human beings give up their rights through the mutual agreement with each other. So in the society, the human beings give up their rights. They sacrifice their rights with a mutual understanding with each other. So that is a liberal perspective. And another thing which is common here, Jeremy Bentham and J.S. Mill, they propose the perspective, they propose the theory, utilitarianism. Utilitarianism is nothing but, according to this theory, state is going to use the government is going to use the people. For example, we are utilitarians because we are using the government. In what way we are using? In what purpose we are using? To getting the services from the government, from the state, we are using it. Of course, state and government is also using us. In what way it is using us? Simply, state, we are paying the tax to the government and different tax to the state and government. So government and state is using in that way. So we can say that one. In the liberal perspective, once again repeats you, liberal perspective is proposed by the Jeremy Bentham, J.S. Mill, Hobbes, and John Locke. Liberal perspective means it's a freedom, modernity, and progress and liberty. So according to this liberal perspective, John Locke give a different opinion, Hobbes give a different opinion. We will go to the John Locke opinion. What he said? He said in the liberal perspective, constitutional head of the state are people representative. Constitutional head of the state means in India, for example, president. People representatives. People representative means MPs or MLAs or MLCs, anyone come under local government or state government. So constitutional head of the state are people representatives to make the laws and execute them for the benefit of people. Means the constitutional heads are the political representatives. They will try to make the laws. Make the laws means prepare the laws and execute. Execute means implement the laws for the benefit of the people. So, sake of the people, they are preparing the laws. It doesn't mean that. And Jeremy Bentham, J.S. Mill's theory, utilitarianism. They said that greatest good for the greatest number means government need to do the good things for the many people. The huge people, number of people. So that is a utilitarian theory. Under this theory, they said that government need to provide free education, wages laws, and old age insurances, etc. will come under the utilitarian theory of Bentham or John J.S. Mill and Hobbes. So this is the liberal perspective. What we learn in the liberal perspective? Simple. Liberal perspective is proposed by the Jeremy Bentham, J.S. Mill, Hobbes. It is focused on freedom, liberty, progress. Hobbes says human beings give up their rights mutually for each others. And John Locke says the constitutional heads and political representatives need to prepare the laws for the sake of the people. And Jeremy Bentham says that the government has to do good things for the providing free education, health, etc., etc. This is the liberal perspective. Next, we will go to the neoliberal perspective. Under this neoliberal perspective, it is proposed by or advocated by, said by the Margaret Thatcher and Friedman and Robert Junick. Remember these names, ma? Liberal perspective is said by the Jeremy Bentham, J.S. Mill, John Locke. Whereas neoliberal perspective is said by the proposed by the Margaret Thatcher, Friedman, Robert Junick. What they said? This neoliberal perspective emerged in the era of globalization. In the globalization time, it has emerged, neoliberal perspective. According to this perspective, new economic ideology has to enforce or implement by the state. Means that the state will try to implement, that society will try to implement the new economic policies. So this is a neoliberal perspective. So under this one, Robert Junick, he says that he gives such a different meaning, a different definition about the neoliberal perspective. He commented, so on the name of welfareism, government is doing the wrong thing. What is doing wrong thing? He explained that. Wrong to take away. This is a wrong thing from the government side. Wrong to take away the earnings of rich man and giving it to the poor who is not earning. Means from the rich people, government is collecting different taxes, different type of things from the rich people. So, and they are giving to the poor people on the different names. We have the many programs in the government, central government, state government. So that money is collected from the rich people. That money collected from the rich people on the name of different taxes, and it is free of cost. It is given to the poor people. That is a comment of this Robert Junick. Remember again. So another one, Friedman says. If Friedman defines that, he defines that governs the least governs the best. Governs the least governs the best. Means the government should be least and governs the best. Governs the best means govern means rule in best way. Means according to Friedman, the government should be less. Means the size of government should be less and it has to provide more facilities. That is a governs best. Governs best means rule. Best means in effective way, it has to work. In effectively, efficiently, promptly, it has to work. So that is the definition of Friedman. And Margaret Thatcher, he defines that under the neoliberal perspective. So remember one thing, under the neoliberal perspective, it is always says that state role has to minimize. Means that state, that government has to reduce their functions. Means that market society, private people will enter the neoliberal perspective. So that is the meaning of this neoliberal perspective. Under this one, Margaret Thatcher, she proposed that Downsizing the bureaucracy. What is downsizing? Downsizing is nothing but reduce the size of bureaucracy. What is bureaucracy? Bureaucracy is nothing but bureaucracy. Bureau means a desk. Cracy means road. Bureaucracy means who is sitting in front of bench or front of the table. That persons can be known as a bureaucrats. In general meaning, bureaucrats is nothing but servants, civil servants, employees. We can call them as a bureaucrats. Clear? What is she's defining that? She's telling that she's from UK. She said that downsize of bureaucracy. Downsizing of bureaucracy means that employees' size should be reduced. So this is the neoliberal perspective. And another perspective we can discuss that. That is the Marxian perspective. Karl Marx. I think all of you are aware about the Karl Marx. He says that Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, Lenin comes under the Marxian perspective. Under this perspective, what they says, state is an instrument of elite people. Means state is an instrument. State using like a weapon by the elite people. By the elite people is nothing but rich people. Simple means the state is used for the rich people. State is an instrument of elite people. Means that elite people, rich people can use the state. And bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is nothing but bureaucrats. They are exploiting the working class. Means the state and government officials are exploiting the people, common people. But rich people are using the state. Rich people, they will expand their business. They will get the benefit from the government because they are elite people. They can influence the government. So we can see that one like VIPs. So that is comes. See, if you have any services, VIP will get immediately. So that is a comment by the Karl Marx. He says that so that elite people are using that state. That state is not helping the poor people. His means. So that point, he says that should be controlled. Means that exploitation from the state and government should be minimized or to be controlled. So that is a Marxism perspective. Simple. I will say that this Marxian perspective is proposed by Karl Marx, Friedrich Engels, and Lenin. This is that state is exploiting the poor people, but it is supporting the rich people or elite people. That's why Karl Marx says that state is an instrument and the weapon in the hands of elite people. Elite people can do the politics. Elite people can get the benefits and they can become the richer. So that is a Marxian perspective. And Gandhian perspective. Mahatma Gandhi perspective comes under the Gandhian perspective. What is Gandhi ideology? Gandhi proposed a few principles: non-violence, Swaraj. These are the different concepts which are come under peace and trusteeship. We will go to the each and every concept. Swaraj means self-rule. In India, we have the Swaraj. If you refer the Indian Constitution, Article 40 of Indian Constitution clearly defines that we have the village panchayats. This villages means in the administrative hierarchy, village is the grassroots level first point, starting point. So that is a village. So that is Swaraj. Swaraj means self-rule. Next concept. So the policies of the state and the society will practice the Swaraj principles. Next one, non-violence. Non-violence is non-violent. Not to kill others, should not follow the violent method, war method, killing others, creating disturbance or communal violence. These all comes under the non-violence methods. And decentralization. Centralization means all powers and functions may come under the single person hands. That is called centralization. Decentralization refers, remember clearly, decentralization means the powers or functions can be distributed among the employees or among the persons is called decentralization. So Indian administration, the state and the society and the government are decentralized. So that's why we have the district panchayats, mandal panchayat, village panchayats. So these are the best example for the decentralization. Means in the relation between state and society and public administration, we are practicing the decentralized principles. Next one, trusteeship. Trusteeship is nothing but a person is owner to his own property. That is called trusteeship. So Gandhi says that when a person earn more than enough his needs, that money or that excess has to share to others, share to poor people on the name of charity. That is called trusteeship. So this is come under the Gandhian perspective. Is it clear to all of you, or are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Continue. Then I will.
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Yeah. Thank you. Then.
Yeah,
Next.
understanding, sir.
Okay. I will try to make it clear and short. That's why I prepared all these things. Okay. Then go to the
Okay,
next
sir.
concept.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Next one. Next is Weberian perspective. What is a Weberian perspective? Weber is a German philosopher, German sociologist actually. He says about the bureaucratic concept. He said the bureaucracy concept. According to his opinion, bureaucracy in the hierarchy, it will work for the people. Without bureaucracy, the state and the government may not perform well. So that's why we have in the state and society concept, Weberian perspective. According to Weberian perspective, Max Weber, bureaucracy says that the stable taxation we need. The bureaucracy depends on stable taxation. If we pay the tax continuously, then only government can run. So that is a Weberian bureaucracy. It doesn't mean that. It says that the bureaucrats play a major role in the state and the society by collecting taxes to making policies, whether it became an industrial policy and some other things. So that is a Weberian perspective. In simple words, Weberian perspective is one of the important aspect in the state and society in the public administration relations. Max Weber, as a German sociologist, he focused on the bureaucracy. The bureaucracy is the best form of officials to perform the functions for the development of the state and assist the government. So according to this Weberian perspective, industrial economy need to security of their wealth and property. So industrial society is going to protect by this organization, the Weberian telling. Next one, ecological perspective. Ecology is nothing but surrounding places, which is based on the surrounding places. We can follow that laws or principles, whatever it may be. So this is called ecological approach. See, my dear students, when we are taking decision, it is based on our circumstances. Means every state, every government will take the decisions according to the needs of that particular geographic area. For example, Indian government, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. Why it is making that, introducing that program, that policy? Because that women or girl education or literacy percentage is less. So they are promoting girl education. First point, Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao. Beti Bachao means this is for the protection of the girl child. So this is one of the program. Means it is ecological approach based on the Indian government. I will give the one example. Sorry to mention this point. So in Rajasthan, if that in the womb they confirm the pregnant, if their woman will be there, girl will be there, immediately they go for the abortion. So because they have that kind of that kind of mindset in the state. So that gender ratio is there is a huge gap in the gender ratio. So that government made. So that testing that in the medical centers, testing that whether girl or boy will be there, that is a testing that's abolished. Of course, in the entire government of India made it. So compare with the according to gender report. So there is a huge gap in that one. So in the ecological perspective, in the administration point of, we can say that one. This ecological perspective is proposed by the F.W. Riggs. He is also administrative thinker. He says that society and administration is based on the different conditions in the particular society or particular state. For example, what are the conditions? According to society conditions, he divided that state or the society into three societies. First society, prismatic society, fused society, diffracted society. So this society, for example, prismatic society, means which is following the complete traditional methods. Fused society, mixed the principles. Diffracted society, well developed, means this society developing nations, backward countries, developing nations, and developed countries. Three societies. For example, prismatic society, you give the example for the developing society, developed societies. Fusion society, like developing countries. Diffracted society, like American, these societies. So, for example, an American government is completely developed. Indian government is a developing. So, in the developing process, the government will make the policies according to the needs of the society. So when you go for the American policies, when you compare the Indian policies, there is a difference will be there, because America is a developed country, India is a developing country. So in the developing country, the public administration role is more according to ecological perspective. So this is the ecological perspective. In examination point of view, you need to write short. What is ecological perspective? That ecological perspective is nothing but which are based on the socio-economical, geographical conditions of the society or the state or the surroundings of the particular society or state. They will prepare the laws. So that is called ecological perspective. This is proposed by the F.W. Riggs. According to F.W. Riggs, the societies are divided into three types: prismatic society, fusion society, and diffracted society. Next, contemporary developments in the state, society, and public administration. We have all visualized. We are the evidence to see the changes in the administration activities in the world level. So, Margaret Thatcher principle downsizing, we are observing it, means privatization. In the government side, there is no government jobs. This is a contemporary development. Contemporary development.
Important points.
Kindly mute it. So in the contemporary development, contemporary means the present society developments. Margaret Thatcher principle, we are practicing downsizing. We are all observing that in the government sector, jobs are reducing day by day. It is privatized. It is contracting. Privatizing, contracting principle is a World Bank principle. So if the permanent employee will be there, we need to pay the regular salary. So, but if private will be there, we will give the contract to complete that particular work, particular project. So there's a World Bank principle. So contemporary developments in the public administration, society and changing is downsizing. And we are practicing the World Bank principles. And we are practicing the new public management. What is new public management? Public refer that, public feels that we don't want more government. We need best government. We don't want more government. People fed up with the more governments. They need the best government. What is the best government? Best government means which will provide the services or respond or practicing the transparency or less corrupt or complete, lack of corruption and red tapeism. We want all these things. So in the government administration, red tapeism is here. Red tapeism means late. If you go to the government office to get some certificate, it will take some time, some days, few days, sometimes some months. So that is called red tapeism. Our people need that new public management. So we need, within the stipulated time, we need the service from the government side. For example, a citizen or a candidate need the income certificate. For the income certificate, he will go to the Mandal Revenue Officer or concerned office. So they need particular time to get that certificate. So time limit we need. So in the new public management, it is a time oriented, it is a goal oriented. So goal oriented means it will get some results, some aim will be there. So this is a contemporary development in the public administration. I hope this is very clear to all of you. So whatever the changes in the different societies and the states we are visualizing, we are observing, all this will come under the contemporary developments. So contemporary developments, we can give the best example in Indian administration. The government organizations are privatized. For example, recently, the railways, the private bodies are entered. In the airport, private bodies are entered. Private organizations have entered. Port, private organizations enter. Already in education, since long term, the private organizations have entered. Recently, the defense activities also private organizations have entered. So this is a contemporary development. So it is called re-engineering. Re-engineering means reforming, restructuring the administration. for the sake of the best administration purpose, for the state development, for the best government purpose, efficiently, effectively government purpose. So this is a contemporary issue. So in the conclusion, I can conclude that. So the different perspectives which we have learned in the state and the society and the public administration, these are very important and basics to the public administration student. Being a public administration students, I hope you have all opted for the public administration. You may become the future administrators. Being a future administration, you will take the decision on the ecological perspective approach. You will take the decision on the basis of liberal perspective approach. Am I correct? So in the liberal perspective approach, you will take the complete freedom of these things. And sometimes you may take the decision like a Gandhian perspective type of decisions. So for the public administration scholars, for the public administration students, these are essential, are important for these public administration students. For the last and this thing, do you have any doubts and clarification about this topic, Ma?
Sir, thank you so much. It has been really clear. Would it be possible for you to share this slide on Zoom so that we can save this for our reference?
Definitely. Because it will be help to all the students and learners for the quick revision. And
guys, can you mute yourself? We can't hear you.
Can you mute other people, please?
Guys, can you please mute yourself?
Yeah, okay.
Yes, Kumar Sami sir. So I was requesting if you can share this on Zoom,
definitely,
so
definitely
we can use this as reference.
Yeah. Definitely, I will share. Yeah, give the feedback all the student if it is possible. Do you want any changes in the way of teaching or explaining these concepts?
You are really amazing, sir. It's clear.
Thank you.
It's nice class, sir. Nice class.
Okay, thank you. I think we have 10 minutes time. We have 10 minutes time. So, somebody is going on the road. And yeah. See, last and final, I want to convey something to all my dear students and learners. Remember one thing, this material, the public administration material, useful for all the competitive examinations. Please remember, this material is useful for all competitive examinations. So that's why it's my request to all the students, please thoroughly follow that material, read that material. And whenever you have completed one concept, try to read that immediately on that day only, or sometimes try to read it before that day. Then only you can get a clarification about the particular subject, the particular topic. Okay, then and another thing is I have prepared all the PPTs which I present today. It is completely based on your textbook. Because if I go through some other textbooks, it may be confusion to the learners. So that's why I have prepared the same notes. So that's why you please prepare these notes and try to go through these notes. And hello?
Mute yourself.
Yeah. Narendra, mute yourself.
Guys, please mute yourself.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please tell me, ma'am.
Sir, ఇప్పుడు వీటి అసైన్మెంట్స్ సబ్మిట్ చేయాలా సార్? ఎప్పటి వరకు టైం ఉంది చెప్తారా సార్ కొంచెం?
Yeah, that adi group lo post chesaru. You don't worry about that. We will post in the group. Okay, you follow that group. Okay.
Okay.
Any queries, ma? Any these things?
Sir, which group is it? We don't
This
have
one,
any.
sir?
Yes, sir. We don't have any group.
Just
only message అయితే వస్తుంది సార్ ఇలాగా.
Okay. Then they will create the group for the public administration first year students. Then we will post in the group. Okay, you don't worry about that. I think this is second class only now. So we will post in the group. Okay, na?
Thank you.
Yeah. Tell me, ma.
Sir, send me notes now.
Yeah, definitely. I think how many of you missed the first? How many of you missed the first class? Yesterday's class?
Yesterday class I followed for YouTube, sir.
Acha.
Okay.
In previous class, just I will go through the only 5 minutes. Please
Okay,
see
sir.
these points on PPT because it may be give some inputs to you. In the first topic, meaning, importance of public administration. Yesterday,
Yeah.
we have discussed the meaning, scope of public administration, different perspectives of public administration and private administration differences, and importance of public administration. So, in quick revision, I can go this one. Public
Yes, sir.
administration is a important aspect of human history, and it is not a new phenomena. It is an old phenomena because from the ancient time we are practicing the administration in the different ways. So people think that public administration is 100 plus years old. No, that's not 100 plus years old. This is a ancient time onwards we are practicing it. The public administration focus the administration principles like coordination, cooperation, division of work. These things, being a student of public administration, we will learn more. And we will continue the principles which have in the present time, we will continue. That is the public administration principles. Next, the public administration word, public administration. Public means people, administration means rules. Rule means public administration means people rule where the government, people means this is a synonym with the government. Government rule can be called as a public administration. Means, my dear students and friends, in the public administration, we are going to learn about the government rule. In what way, what method that government is ruling. That is the public administration we are learning. So we need to write the public meaning first. Please remember, in examination point of view, they will ask the question is here. What define the public administration? What is the meaning and the definitions of public administration? This is a question. Always they will ask the question. Please remember that. So you need to write the public administration expression or phrase. Public means people. Administration means rule. This is a administration means people administration or government administration called public administration. The public word refers, public means people and administration means rules. The English word administration is derived from the two Latin words. Remember, Latin word means administer. That word is Latin word. Two Latin words we have. Ad plus minister. Ad and minister. Ad minister means to serve, to manage, to look after people. Means the administrator will try to provide the services. He will try to manage the affairs and look after the people, welfare or implement policies that's come under. Means literally public administration is nothing but management of affairs, whether private or government. So that's a public administration. And different thinkers give the definition about the public administration. John A. Wig, Felix A. Negro, Simon, other people give the different definitions about that one. Okay, that is a public administration. And the definition of public administration, remember, these are important. Remember these definitions. Woodrow Wilson, he's the father of public administration. He says that public administration is a detailed and systematic application of law. Detailed and systematic application of law. That is a public administration. Clear? That's the definition. White means L.D. White. He says that public administration consists of all those operations, means all the functions. L.D. White says all the operations. So that's why I have bolded that word. Bolded. And just in italic form, I have bolded it. So check that. L.D. White says that public administration is nothing but all functions will come under. So the competent authority will enforce that particular policy. That is the public administration. Luther Gulick says that public administration belongs to the executive branch. Executive branch means which will enforce. That is called public administration. Of course, number of people give the definition. That's different. You please check this PPTs also. I will share with people. So under this one, I have said the different scope. Scope means limitation. Limitation means being a public administration student, what we can learn. So the public administration divided two things. One is wider or integral view. Second one is narrow or managerial view. In the scope of public administration, in the short type of questions, they will ask the question. Write a note on scope of public administration. Scope means limitation of the public administration. So in the scope, there are two views will be there. One is wider or integral view. Second is narrow or managerial view. First one is wider view is nothing but wider or integral view proposed by L.D. White. According to this wider view, public administration is related to the legislative body, executive body, judiciary. Simple words. Public administration is nothing but wider, means big area. Top to bottom level activities will come under, means all functions will come under wider view. Then managerial view, narrow view. Managerial means that word says that managerial, that manager who perform the functions or who prepare the what you call agendas, everything. That is a managerial function. Managerial functions means top level officers performing functions only comes under the public administration. These are the two views, please remember. Integral, a wider view, narrow view. Wider view is also called integral view. Don't get confusion. Wider view is also called integral view. Narrow view called as a managerial view. Another one is postcard. This is important. Please remember. Luther Gullick, one of the administrative thinker, he proposed the postcard principle. POSDCORB. Please observe the slide. You can hear
Sir,
that.
can you request that member to please mute that? It's very disturbing.
Yeah.
Or else you can
Yes,
mute from your...
Yeah. Somebody's... please mute that my phone.
RAM wireless earbuds. Who is that? I don't know.
Then next, what we will do...
Uma Bindu is also...
Uma Bindu, sir.
Please mute ma. Sunday, that is Sunday. That is Sunday. So children beside them, they are talking. But they need to...
Kumar Swami, sir, why don't you mute it? Since you are the host, you can mute all of them at once.
Yes, you can mute. Yes.
I will do that then. Best one.
Yes, sir.
I need to go to this option. Okay, let me finish. Okay, under the postcard principle, every time they're asking the question postcard, define postcard. Postcard is one of the subject matter view. It is proposed by the Luther Gullick. It is consists of 7 elements. I need to do it immediately, otherwise these people. So again, I need to go back. Let it be. I will continue just 5 minutes. Then here, according to this postcard view, Luther Gullick, that acronomy, each and every word says about the functions of the executive. Simple one, I will explain it short. Postcard is a subject matter view. It is proposed by Luther Gullick. Each and every word from the postcard will show the managerial task of organization or functions of the chief executive. P stands for planning. O stands for organization. S stands for staffing. T stands for the direction. CO stands for coordination. R stands for reporting. B stands for budget. So please remember, planning is important for the organization and organization important. Organization means there is a work division will be there, men, material, every will come under organization. Staff means nothing but officials or members in the organization. That is called staff. Without staff, we can't do anything easier. So in short form, I can say that one. For every organization, planning is very, very important to make the success of the organization. So making this one. So in broad line, we will prepare the plans. So being a public administration student, we need some plan for our future. So we need to follow in our general life, in daily life, postcard principle. If you are doing today work, you need planning and you need organization or organizing how to do that work. You need to organize and staff, training and everything will come out of the staffing. Next one, direction. Direction means issuing the orders. Top level officials may pass the orders. That is called direction. In what way we need to do? My dear students and friends, here, direction is very, very important to accomplish, to achieve the desired goals. So direction is very important. And coordination. Coordination is nothing but coordinating is nothing but cooperating to each other. Departmental level officers, in the office level subordinates and officials, everybody need to coordinate. Coordination is nothing but bringing together, working together is called coordination. Coordination may resolve the conflicts. Coordination orderly encourages the efforts and it may avoid the overlapping. Overlapping means one organization principle will be there. Beyond that principle, we can't do it. So that is called, we can call code of conduct. Means we are following that principle. We are following our duties. So that is called the coordination will come under. And reporting. Reporting means the subordinate officer always reporting the superior, what he is doing. So that is called reporting. Reporting means from the down level to top level communication in the reporting, it will go. Then orders, please remember, orders will come under the top to down. Top to down means top manager to down level subordinates, it will come. And next one, budgeting. For every activity, budget or finance is important. So this is come under this one. And various perspectives we have gone through this one. That is a professional perspective of public administration, discipline